Good afternoon. This is iPulse Live for March 20th. I'm Lisekian.
And I'm Lilian Carreon. The war with Iran is sending shock waves, both political and economic, across the globe.
Here at home, that includes energy price shocks at the gas pump as oil supplies are being choked off from the Persian Gulf. Alexis Nowak reports.
Gas prices are at their highest level since 2023, as the war in the Middle East continues to impact global oil supply. Prices have risen sharply, the Florida average increasing by over 25% in 1 month roughly. Here in Boca Raton, Florida, drivers are feeling that impact as gas prices are hovering near the $5 a gallon line.
I think it's ridiculous. Almost $5 a gallon. Yeah, this is high though for over this area. But it changes when you go down a little bit to Boynton. Ranges like around maybe 3 and change. But this is high for Florida, I can say. It's almost California prices.
It's obvious to everyone that the prices are going up.
They're going through the roof. Does not bother me because I need it anyways. And I got a good deal on the car, so the gas is almost irrelevant.
For drivers like Anderson, those prices are adding up quickly.
About like $10, $20 extra, and that's every 2-3 days. So definitely, but hopefully we can do something about it and the cost can go down.
For professional drivers, higher gas prices are cutting directly into their earnings.
And everything gas station right now is $4 for 1 gallon. So that's crazy price. You know, I don't like this.
For some drivers, gas prices are affecting their everyday essentials.
Price of fuel is affecting us with the fact that, we can't have extra money to buy groceries or go out to eat or things like that. There's less money to go around. So we're doing what we can to drive efficiently, stay home more.
Prices are going up, up, and away, and we're left wondering when and where will it stop. I'm Alexis Nowak, reporting for iPulse News.
Now for the latest on the war front, a front that analysts say it's threatening the stability of the entire Middle East and could draw other countries there directly into the war.
An RT reporter narrowly escaping a strike in Lebanon as the U.S.-Israeli war with Iran intensifies. It comes amid a wave of attacks on energy production sites across the region. President Donald Trump denying that the U.S. knew of Israel's plan to target an Iranian natural gas field, the world's largest known gas reserve, but sources say he knew. The Israeli attacks prompting retaliatory strikes by Iran, including on a critical Qatari liquefied natural gas facility. The escalating attacks and Iran's effective blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, contributing to sliding global stock markets and a spike in global energy prices. The price of oil briefly hitting $119 per barrel Thursday as the U.S. average for a gallon of regular inches near $4 a gallon. Speaking to press, Trump said he expected a sharper spike in oil prices, suggesting the economic impact has been more limited.
Oil prices will go up, the economy will go down a little bit. I thought it would be worse.
Still, the U.S. Treasury considering new measures to lower the price at the pump.
In the coming days, we may unsanction the Iranian oil that's on the water. It's about 140 million barrels.
Despite economic pressure, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says a $200 billion request from the Pentagon to Congress may be a moving target.
It takes money to kill bad guys. So we're going back to Congress and our folks there to ensure that we're properly funded.
For iPulse News, I'm Lilian Carreon.
The nation's vaccine debate between supporters and opponents took another sharp turn this week. A federal judge granted a preliminary injunction blocking efforts to reduce childhood immunization schedules.
Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is a longtime vaccine skeptic, but he's facing pushback from many medical groups, including the American Academy of Pediatrics. Mitchell Bernstein has reaction to the court victory, at least for now, for vaccine advocates.
I sat down with Dr. Felix Mariani. He is an immunology professor at Lynn University.
This is an important victory step for us because many of our scientific organizations that are paying attention to this issue were participating on the legal battle, and this is a very important first step.
Vaccine skepticism is on the rise. It's fueled in part by Health Secretary Kennedy's anti-vaccine views. And that impact is playing out in Florida and around the country. Measles outbreaks, virtually unheard of for decades, are a prime example.
Florida pretty much served as an example because in 2025, there were less than a handful of cases in Florida. When in the first 3 months, they have quadrupled. Florida has nearly 150 cases of measles.
When people are not vaccinated, which group of them are the ones that are getting the most affected?
Those who have less access to healthcare, to having a primary physician, daily accessible. So those will be the people and the community will be more affected.
The debate rages in the face of long-standing peer-reviewed science about the general safety of vaccines.
And they pump so much stuff into those beautiful little babies, it's a disgrace.
Dr. Mariani's message to vaccine skeptics, that they matter and that access for everyone is vital.
It addresses limitations that we may have in society. And not everybody has the same access, like myself and many people in our communities.
Now all sides wait to see where vaccine policy goes next. For iPulse News, I'm Mitchell Bernstein.
A group of Florida sheriffs are making news this week. They are calling for compassion and a path towards permanent life in the U.S. for illegal immigrants who have broken no laws and are positive contributors to their communities. But Governor Ron DeSantis is pushing back on that idea. Guy DeDomenico reports.
The deportation debate often boils down to one central question. Should everyone in the U.S. illegally be deported? Or should there be a path to staying here for those who've committed no other crimes? Florida State Immigration Enforcement Council, an advisory group of sheriffs, sounded a compassionate note this week.
There are those here that are working hard. They have their kids in college or in school. They're going to church on Sunday. They're not violating the law. And they are living the American dream and are being very productive and doing good in this country.
The Guatemalan Maya Center in Lake Worth Beach is a nonprofit dedicated to helping immigrants. Mariana Blanco is the center's president.
I feel like this comment coming from a person who is historically a very conservative Republican, I do think that people will feel more brave. Elected officials will feel braver to maybe say that quiet part out loud, which is that what we have been doing for the past year regarding immigration is wrong. We're separating families, we're leaving children behind.
South Florida immigration attorney Richard Huber offered his perspective.
It's an election year, and I think even the administration and pretty much out of DC, what you hear now is they do not want to use the phrase mass deportations anymore. I think they realize that the Hispanic vote now is on the line, and the Hispanic vote and immigrants vote in general, I think carry the day.
But current deportation policy sparks disagreement even among conservatives. Governor Ron DeSantis late this week criticized the sheriff's advisory group, saying in part, quote, "This idea that unless you're an axe murderer, you should be able to stay, that is not consistent with our laws, and it's also not good policy." Opposing viewpoints as the immigration debate continues in Florida and throughout the nation. Guilherme de Domenico reporting for iPulse News.
A new law is about to be on the books in Florida. The Republican-led legislature passed a bill requiring proof of U.S. citizenship to vote. The argument is that it will tighten election security. Opponents say it will disenfranchise eligible voters.
The pending Florida law mirrors the effort by President Trump to get Congress to pass the so-called Save America Act, which also would include an end to mail-in ballots if he gets his way.
We sat down with Diana Nguyen, the national president for the League of Women Voters, who came to West Palm Beach recently. She offered her perspective on the push for change in Washington.
This legislation is very dangerous in terms of voting rights. In particular, it impacts women. So this legislation requires certain kinds of documentary proof that you are a citizen before you can even register to vote. And it is proof that it is, quite frankly, not even necessary. Actual voter fraud is exceedingly rare in this nation. So why does it affect women negatively? If you go to register to vote, if this legislation passed, you would have to present documentation, and more than one piece of documentation, so like a photo ID, but also a document that shows where you were born in order to prove citizenship. And those documents must match in terms of your name. So think about the approximately 70 million women in this country who changed their name when they married. And now their birth certificate doesn't match their driver's license. And a driver's license alone in most states would not be sufficient proof because it doesn't tell somebody where you were born. So we disenfranchise tens of millions of women and people of color. People of color are 3 times more likely not to have the necessary documentation under this legislation if it were to pass. So the League of Women Voters has been and will continue to fight very hard to defeat this legislation in Congress.
The president has said he wants to add a ban on mail-in balloting, which of course is the province of the states, but your thoughts on that?
Yes, well, first of all, under the Constitution, he does not have that authority. President Trump has issued executive orders, and there may be more, that speak to how elections should be run. The League of Women Voters has defeated through the courts some of those executive orders, and we will continue to fight back against any in the future. So it's really important that we protect mail-in voting.
I've had people say to me, Michael, I'm worried, will there be a vote at all in November? Do you hear that?
I hear that. I understand why they're concerned, because some of the rhetoric that we hear from federal officials. What I would say is we will have elections. So unfortunately, in this day and age, we have too many politicians, when they lose an election, they don't want to accept that loss. Well, in any election, there are winners and there are losers. And when you lose, you cannot use tactics like delaying and throwing out ballots. That is not democracy. So in the past, we've taken it to the courts to make sure every ballot is counted so that we have a fair and free election. I am worried about the state of democracy. And I think we have good reason to be worried about the state of democracy. The League of Women Voters, for the first time in its 106-year history, has declared a constitutional crisis. We're seeing the executive branch exercise authority that they do not have under the Constitution. We're seeing attacks on the judiciary. We're seeing Congress, quite frankly, not exercising or protecting its constitutional power. And I am concerned about the long-term ramifications and the disrespect for not only the rule of law under the Constitution, but our democratic norms. I think that we're discovering that those norms are more fragile than we realize. So it will depend on the people to make sure that those norms are honored. We never have, and we do not endorse or oppose candidates when they're running for elected office, and we do not endorse or oppose political parties. So regardless of your political beliefs or leanings, we believe everyone needs to go, everyone who is eligible needs to go to the ballot box. But then remember, you're not just a voter, you are a constituent. So in between elections, we need people to be...
The body of a missing University of Alabama student has been found. James Gracie, the 20-year-old junior, was on a spring break trip in Barcelona, visiting friends studying abroad. Gracie was last seen early Tuesday morning leaving a nightclub before being reported missing later that day. The search ended last night after he was found dead in shallow water in front of the club he was last seen at. His death, as of now, is considered accidental.
There are new faces set to be on the Boca Raton City Council. A lot of them are there after fighting the efforts for new development in the city. Erna Delis covered the run-up to the early March election and is here with a follow-up report.
Last week's election for the City of Boca Council has some ominous results.
Voters even turned down a proposal to redevelop parts of the city, including the city hall.
People said, no, we want to keep our downtown. We want to not make a new downtown. We need to improve what we have, and we have the resources to do so. There was no need to give away public land. That was always a false narrative.
Michelle Grau is a newly elected council member. She is part of the Save Boca movement.
Well, for me, it was about the density and the location. It was just very intense development in one particular area that is already suffering a lot of traffic congestion. And I didn't feel that we needed to give away public land in order to upgrade our municipal facilities.
Andy Thompson, now mayor-elect for Boca, told us 2 weeks ago that he encourages some redevelopment, but not at the expense of Boca's origin.
So I want to make sure that we get those buildings, but that we do it in a responsible manner and not give away public land. So my priority, and once I'm elected mayor,
This promises to be an ongoing battle between development and preserving Boca's traditional look.
Boca Raton, we need to stay engaged. Now that this referendum, we won the referendum, our work is not done.
for the past year, all of the oxygen has been taken out of the room by this government campus redevelopment project. I think it's been misplaced, and I think we need to get back to doing what we do best, which is providing great public safety, water, sanitation, parks, beaches, everything that the city of Boca does really well.
A footnote, the election for Boca's mayor may be one for the history books. Andy Thompson beats his opponent by only 5 votes. I'm Erna DeLise reporting for iPulse News.
The partial government shutdown continues, with TSA workers at airports across the country missing out on paychecks and skipping out on work. Reporter Enzo Baboni checked out how this is affecting travelers at Palm Beach International Airport.
1 month into the partial government shutdown, hundreds of TSA workers without full pay have quit, while others have taken unscheduled time off, causing more travel issues as spring break travelers try to fly.
Travel is absolutely necessary for not just people's personal lives, but also for business and economic output.
Verna Lang just arrived at PBI.
And then also it's a bad look on the United States that our airports are struggling in such a way. I have had a few flights. Me and my friends have had flights delayed and canceled.
I almost didn't come here because my flight kept getting delayed, and my friend who lives here, I'm here before her because she is from South Dakota, and her flight got canceled on Sunday and couldn't reschedule until today on Wednesday. I will definitely be reconsidering. I have trips coming up in the summer and in a couple weeks as well, so I'm really concerned about all of that.
Mickey Alston is the union vice president of PBI.
We actually do have a bill that's out that the union did come out called the Federal Fund Act bill. We need every single last one of us to be in their right mental state, to be in their right physical state. And when your funds are depleted and you can't put food in your belly, you are worrying and you're stressed about other financial and monetary needs, it causes a risk into our national security. And that's something that we don't need and we can't even afford because it puts people's lives in danger.
We may not know when this shutdown will conclude, but until then, the ripple effects will extend far beyond airport checkpoints, reshaping trust in the very institutions meant to protect and serve. Enzo Baboni, reporting for iPulse News.
Artificial intelligence seems to make headlines every day. It made another one this week when one company talked about allowing X-rated chats. Critics say AI is moving ahead while regulations for its thoughtful use are being left in the dust. Mitchell Bernstein reports.
Artificial intelligence is evolving fast, and with it, so is abuse of this technology. I spoke with cybersecurity expert Alan Krowitz.
Good artificial content that's designed to trick people or for whatever purpose, nefarious or good, looks so much like the original content already. It's very difficult to tell, and that's now.
Just look at this AI-generated clip featuring Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt.
He was a good man! He knew too much about our Russia operations. He had to die, and now you die too.
There's already tons and tons of very successful practical jokes where it shows a fake video to somebody who panics and thinks that it's real.
Some AI companies, such as OpenAI, are planning features targeted towards adults.
So now this adult content is potentially being out there. We've already heard about revenge porn and things of that nature. For sure, bad guys will take advantage of it in ways that companies like OpenAI and Google and Meta have not even thought of.
But some companies are on top of the situation.
Even when AI first came out, people started looking up how to make bombs or how to make poison or whatever. And AI quickly reacted. People began shutting it down, finding, what people were doing nefariously and shutting it down. But there's a lag time with any new technology. There are going to be bad people who thought of clever ideas that are very inappropriate to take advantage of it. The technology always lags the bad guys.
To keep up, Krowitz recommends public awareness.
The more people can learn, what's normal, that these deepfakes look very real and that voices can be faked and pictures can be faked and not to trust news sites. The more awareness is out there, and quite frankly, the more paranoia people have, the better.
As AI grows, understanding how it works may be the best defense. For iPulse News, I'm Mitchell Bernstein.
A day at the beach is looking and smelling different along our South Florida coastline. Sargassum is washing ashore and it may only get worse. What is it? Why is it happening? And what can be done about it? I went to the beach to check it out.
This is sargassum. It's a brown algae, or as you probably call it, seaweed.
I think it's beautiful. It adds a pop of color to this dreary day.
Others can't stand it.
It doesn't really look very appealing, and especially it getting stuck in my toes. It's kind of gross.
Numerous reports suggest another huge wave of sargassum is still to come along our Atlantic coastlines.
I mean, it feeds off of what the elements are around it.
I talked to Mark Perry, a longtime executive director for the Florida Oceanographic Society. Scientists believe a warming planet and pollution, including huge fertilizer runoff, are part of the recipe for massive sargassum blooms.
If we can control the runoff and control what runoff enters into those water bodies, it would probably starve, those algae like sargassum will always still be there, but they won't bloom into the significance that we've seen in recent years.
Research into the sources and causes of sargassum blooms are ongoing. It's vital for a lot of reasons. Tourism economies like ours depend on clean beaches.
For beachgoers, it can create a pretty big problem for the amount of seaweed that ends up on the beaches in very thick layers.
There is a balancing act here because sargassum plays a vital role for the ecosystem in moderation.
It's a natural thing. Sargassum has always been there and always will, and it has a lot of benefits. Like I said, for refuge, for sea turtles, for other lots and lots of marine critters. It's important to understand that we just don't want to go out there and spray herbicide on it, right? We just don't want to go out and try to eliminate it. We have to understand it, and we have to understand what we're doing to cause these blooms.
Although some people may find sargassum inconvenient, it serves an important purpose for marine life. From Delray Beach, Liseki for iPulse News.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope all is well. I'm Noah Barclay. The weather today, it's looking a little rainy, but as we get down to the week, it's going to be completely sunny and kind of like how we had 2 weeks ago when the temperatures kind of stayed within that 5 temperature interval. They're not going to really be that diverse this week. It's going to be between like 78 and 83 along that line. So you should have a pretty consistent week in terms of the temperature. The only thing I will say today, it already rained a little bit here in Boca this morning. It might happen a little bit more as we go along throughout the day. We do have some spotty showers outside here. Most of the heavy thunderstorms, I say showers because the thunderstorms are way out here. So there's nothing to worry about in terms of heavy rain. And in fact, as you get into your afternoon commute coming home from work, there shouldn't be any rain left. Again, there should possibly be some spotty showers, but again, only spotty, very little. No thunderstorms. Those are all off of the coast. All the storms that we had over the past week and the beginning of this gloomy week, they're all gone. So we're going to have some sun coming in after today. And as you'll see on the next image, throughout the country, we do have some relatively clear weather other than the northeast. And as we get over into Seattle, it does start to rain heavily as well. But again, down here, you'll see that whole big line of thunderstorms is way off of the coast. So there's nothing to worry about heavy-wise. And you'll see that right now on the 7-day forecast where we have sun the entire week all the way from Saturday up until Thursday with the exception of today, where there is going to be some clouds. Again, still some stray showers. No thunderstorms, however, so it is going to be a safe week. Again, the temperatures also are very consistent. Like I said, they're not very diverse. They're going to be between 78, 81, 82, actually. So it's going to be very nice. You can have consistency in terms of what you're wearing, so you can have a very nice week, especially for March Madness, which is this week. And speaking of sports, let's go to Davin Dravelbis.
Welcome back to the latest edition of iPulse Sports. I'm Davin Dravelbis, and I'm currently at our Lynn swimming facility where our swim teams train day in and day out. Senior Maurice Grabowski recently won 5 NCAA Division II national titles, earning him the accolade of Division II Swimmer of the Year. He took me through a day in his life that included training, recovery, and even his eating habits that help him stand out as an elite athlete. Before most people even start their day, Grabowski is already in the pool grinding through his first training session.
Normally we got 6 a.m. practice in the morning, so we got the options between 6 and 8 a.m. But I love to go to 6 a.m., just wake up early.
But becoming a champion in the pool isn't just about time spent in the water.
But normally after we have 6 a.m. practice, we're done by like 7:50, 8 a.m. And then I got to get nutritious in to recover, so I go to the calf, hit my proteins, hit my carbs and fats.
Nutrition is a key part of Grabowski's regimen, fueling himself properly for training and competitions.
Without good nutrition, you're not going to be a great athlete or one of the greats. I look at every single macro I take in, but of course once or twice in a week I got my cheat days or cheat meals.
After refueling, Grabowski takes time to properly recover to prevent injuries and fatigue.
Normally I do stretch out and ab workout together every day, but then also rolling out on the foam roll. Doing all you can in order to get your body going the next day again.
The day doesn't end there. Grabowski shortly after has to head out for his second training session of the day, another workout in the pool. Grabowski's training regimen undoubtedly sets him apart from the rest of the competition.
I think if you do a little extra, that's what separates you from the others. I always think about, okay, if I do this one more rep, my opponent is not doing that, so that's what's going to separate me and elevate me from the whole world.
Even after 5 national titles this season, the potential for greatness keeps Grabowski coming back hungry for more.
I want to reach my potential. I want to max out my potential. I know I'm still at the beginning, so yeah, I'm happy to see what's coming in the future and to push every day 1% more than the other day.
Venezuela has won the 2026 World Baseball Classic, defeating the United States in a close 3-2 game. Reporter Swanson Gibson Jr. caught up with a few Venezuelan students on the Lynn campus to discuss the importance of this win.
After an intense series of games in the 2026 World Baseball Classic, Venezuela sits atop the baseball kingdom. Throughout the tournament, Team Venezuela's offense and pitching catapulted them to wins against the world's best, and they did not let up against Team USA in the championship. After scoring a run in the 3rd inning, Venezuela would get some insurance, courtesy of a solo blast by Willie Abreu. The juggernaut in Team USA not backing down easily, as Bryce Harper answers with a 2-run shot, tying the game and sending the crowd into a frenzy. In the top of the 9th, it would be Eugenio Suarez finding a gap for a double, bringing home the go-ahead run. Daniel Palencia shutting the door on them, clinching Venezuela's first ever WBC championship. Venezuelan natives and Lynn University students share their perspective.
It was incredible. It was incredible. Although I wasn't in the arena, I was watching with some friends, and we all erupted in screaming and excitement. I had friends in the arena, and when they got back home, it's so filled with energy.
I'm super proud of the team. It means a lot. Me being able to see the game and to see how much happiness it brought to the people, I have no words for it.
Garzon and Mata also spoke about the celebrations that occurred in their nation and the star power of Venezuela's roster.
My brother was at a watch party. He was extremely excited. All his friends started jumping and they went out afterwards, celebrating with more people. It's more than a win. It's pride in Venezuela.
It says that it's starting to become better and better. I know about a place back in Venezuela that has produced 60 world pro stars or players, and I know that in a moment it's gonna become even better.
With Team Venezuela being loaded with Major League Baseball stars, they look to use this momentum and continue their success in the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. Reporting for iPulse Sports, I'm Swanson Gibson Jr.
This is the latest edition of iPulse Sports. I'm Davin Jabrelbis. Back to you guys in the studio.
Every March, thousands of college students head to South Florida and turn the beaches into the ultimate spring break celebration. Reporter Delaney Smith went to Fort Lauderdale to see what the excitement was all about.
I'm here at Las Olas Beach in Fort Lauderdale, where you can see behind me that spring break is in full swing here. Students from across the country are coming here to celebrate their time off with the warm weather, the beaches, and the nightlife. It's an exciting time here in South Florida.
Sun, sand, and thousands of college students. Spring break is in full swing here in Fort Lauderdale, where students from around the country are packing the shoreline throughout the month of March.
What has been your favorite part about spring break?
Just honestly having a break from school, no studying, having to worry about nothing but going out, going to the beach, having a good time with my friends, meeting new people.
The people here, the clubs, I mean, it's just endless.
It's a great time in Fort Lauderdale. The best time here.
It's a great atmosphere. You get everywhere you go. Everyone's super friendly, loving, nice. The beachfront is perfect. It's awesome. The weather, the weather's really good.
But with large crowds comes the need for extra safety precautions. Local officials have implemented a daily beach sweep and cleanup at 5:30 p.m. sharp. And the spring break crowds don't just fill the beaches. They also give a boost to local businesses.
Spring break has been pretty awesome. We're getting a lot more customers throughout the whole United States and abroad.
One local business worker has a powerful message for those enjoying the beach.
I do see a lot more people littering, which they need to be more mindful about the nature at our beach. We want to protect our beaches in Florida, especially we have this gorgeous view, but people are not protecting what we have. You come to visit, so please take care of our environment.
Officials say if you're visiting this spring break, the message is simple. Have fun, stay safe, and follow the rules. I'm Delaney Smith for iPulse TV News.
Everyone's still celebrating the success of the Lynn Fashion Showcase. 6 designers came from fashion designers of Latin America to showcase their collections. There were many unsung heroes that brought this event to life. One of these individuals is the Dean of the College of Communication and Design, Cesar Santalo, who brought together the concept of LFS Extreme. I spoke to him throughout the artistic process of it.
LFS Week, are you excited?
Oh, super excited. We've been putting this together for several months.
You're the artist behind most of the process here. I know that for sure. I was reading the graffitis right now at the runway, and I got so excited to see many terms like relating to the 80s, but also colors, but also skateboard. So can you tell me a little bit about, because I know there's going to be more artwork out there.
Right. Yeah, so I thought it was really cool that we brought in an actual graffiti artist. One of our faculty members, Dave Bear, is like a very well-known graffiti artist. He's in the Graffiti Hall of Fame in Wynwood. And we wanted to not only on the runway have language that reflects skateboard culture, but also in the namings of the actual food that they're going to eat. One of the inspirations for this year's theme was the fact that we were taking all the excitement and all the energy that was from All Hands on Deck. We had over 450 skateboards from over four different continents, 8 countries, and over 30 high schools. It was such a success that we said, why don't we make it the theme this year? Because that's what kids are excited about. And so we brought, instead of bringing 450, we're bringing about 200 skateboards, and we're re-inviting a lot of those high school students that participated on it. And we created these custom 10-foot tall, you could say towers or totem poles, where we're going to be actually exhibiting all of those skateboards here in the runway and also outside.
I see wings outside, and I'm gonna go take pictures there on Thursday and Friday, and people probably are gonna like be taking pictures of everything, because like the aesthetic this year, it's like colorful. I like the graffiti. You told me something about stickers. Is there a surprise, or can we know a little bit about it?
Yeah, so we created like a skateboard deck sticker competition. A lot of students have never even had one of their creations printed before. And so one of the things I thought would be cool is to incorporate Lynn culture, like the big wheel races, the night, what's another one? Pine tree camps, all of those things that make Lynn so special, and have kids, our very own students, create stickers for that. If you walk outside, you're gonna see banners.
Yeah.
So the students are the ones that actually did the photography. We went on a photo shoot to Lot 11 in Miami, and then one of my design students and intern by the name of Lindsay Kay designed those banners. And we thought it was really important to also highlight who the photographers are for each one of those banners. So the names of the photographers that are our students are actually on there. So just things like that that are really interesting that people don't know about that make this university so special. For me, the experience doesn't start just with the fashion. It starts when you come out of your car. So that's one of the reasons we have the mural. That's one of the reasons we have the stickers, why we have the skateboards outside, and why we have a band. All of those things matter, so that when people leave here, they're changed, and it's a moment they'll never forget.
I love it. I'm looking forward to it. I also spoke with the models, many of whom are Lynn students, backstage before they walk the runway. Now, back to Lynn Fashion Showcase. Modeling is something for you that I've seen that it's a hobby. So tell me, how is LFS 2026 exciting for you as a model backstage? Because sometimes people don't get to see all the great things you get to do.
Anytime, even though like it's my third time doing it, I always get excited, and I always feel like it's my first time doing it, just because there's always something new, like there's new clothes, there's new models, so it's all just very exciting overall. Just having fun and not taking it too seriously, because we're all here to have fun at the end of the day. So that's the way I like to look at it, for sure.
Seeing different outfits is so cool and so fun, because all of these different collections are so different.
So take me through today, and of course your experience, because you have been doing this for quite a few years now.
This will be my third year now doing LFS. It is completely upgraded from my first year doing it. We all come back here, all of the clothing, all of the different accessories, anything that will put the final look together is back here. So we'll come back here with the designers, we'll put our looks together, any final touches, any little things that we want to add to like spice it up or whatever. And then we'll go down to the stage, and then we'll see you guys on the runway.
Tonight with me, they're athletes from Lynn University swim team. Tell me your names first, guy.
My name is Maurice.
And you?
I'm Paul Meltzer. I would lie if I'm saying that I'm not nervous, but I'm more excited. It's kind of similar to being an athlete, getting the race going, so it's a feeling that I'm comfortable with and I like.
I feel like I'm definitely thrilled for it. It's a new experience, but I feel like it's not at all like compared to like the nervous how I am like in front of a race, in front of blocks. So I think I'm prepared.
You guys gonna see.
The 2026 Oscars was a historic night, highlighting a diverse group of winners, including the first women to ever win Best Cinematography. Adam Hakimi spoke with film students at Lynn to get their perspective.
And the Oscar goes to Michael B. Jordan.
A memorable night for diversity in Hollywood, with Sinners consisting of a mostly black ensemble of actors and producers winning 4 categories.
It honestly makes me proud to see people who I can not compare myself to, but relate to in certain circumstances. And I'm really glad that more and more people of different races are winning across different categories.
Michael B. Jordan, an actor since he was 15 years old, received the highest honor of his career in Best Actor for playing 2 identical twins, Smoke and Stack, for Sinners, becoming the 6th black actor to win. He thanked and acknowledged the people who helped inspire his career.
Stand here for
because of the people that came before me. Sidney Poitier, Denzel Washington, Halle Berry, Jamie Foxx, Forrest Whitaker, Will Smith, and to be amongst those giants, amongst those greats, amongst my ancestors, amongst my guys.
Sinners.
Autumn Durald Archipov won Best Cinematography, the first woman and African American to receive this award.
I have felt so much love from all the women on this whole campaign and gotten to meet so many people. And I just feel like moments like this happen because of you guys, and I want to thank you for that.
Finally, like, I'm so glad that she won that award. It's such a big award, and she did an amazing job in Sinners.
Another win for women was the award for Best Casting. One battle after another, Cassandra Kula-Kunis became the first woman and casting director to claim this award.
I have to obviously thank the Academy for even adding this category and for the casting directors that fought tirelessly to make it happen, despite
A historic night for women and African Americans. I'm Am Hakimi, reporting for iPulse News.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Couch Potatoes. My name's Guilherme.
And my name is Lisette.
And today we're going to be talking about The Secret Agent, which was an Oscar nominee for Best International Feature Film. So it tells the story of Armando, who is escaping the Brazilian military regime back in the 1970s when it was still a dictatorship. So, Lisette, what do you think? This movie's from my homeland. So.
I absolutely love this movie, Guy. I really like, it is a little bit of a slow movie, but I really like how the more you watch it, the more you want to know what happens. For example, like, why is Armando there? Or the people that are taking him in, is it his family? Like, what's his overall goal? And I really, really enjoyed seeing that. I really like seeing, like, a plot unravel, and then you just see the end, and you're like, whoa. You know what I mean?
No, it's definitely a mystery. And the thing I love most about this is that it shows how sometimes dictatorships don't look like dictatorships. Oftentimes they don't, because on the surface, the city that this movie takes place in, Recife, is so normal, so kind of lively, like carnival's happening, so people are dancing.
I will say, like, the way this movie is shot is absolutely beautiful. Like, the colors and everything. I think that's what really, like, adds on to your point.
Yeah, it helps kind of the homey kind of atmosphere. But underneath all that, you see this authoritarian regime, how it's degrading everything. I mean, it turns its own citizens into fugitives like Armando. It degrades education, institutions, and most of all, memory, which is something that is still a deep wound in Brazil, the dictatorship time. And I feel like this movie is relevant for a lot of countries right now, you know, to just remember how these sort of regimes happen and how it impacts people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was really good.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, it has little moments of, like, happiness, little comedy, but it's overall very, like, I guess, like a historical movie, but it's also, like, it's really a little bit sad as well.
It is. Yeah. It is. So, yeah, if you want to watch it, again, it's on Hulu, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.
This has been iPulse Live for March 20th, 2026. I'm Lilian Carreon.
And I'm Lisette Guillen. For more stories, you can go to our website, iPulseNews.com, and follow us on our Instagram and TikTok at Lynn iPulse. Have a great weekend.